Well, good evening, everybody. This is Cutler here, the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, the Let's Talk to Cutler. Let's spend these 1,800 seconds together, and the Let's Talk to Cutler platform where we chit chat about what's going on in life and making sure that we are offering something that's inspirational, something that's motivational, and not only inspirational, motivational, but something that sometimes challenges us to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. So if somebody's stopping by for the very first time and you're wondering, what is that guy talking about? What's going on? Why is he up there and what's happening? And I know you all recognize just a different scene behind me, but don't let that bother you. Don't run away. Don't drop off. Don't drop the line. Just stay here because I have a few things that I want to chit chat and talk about. But before I do, I just want to thank those of you who have been with me for a while, those of you who've been with me for the long haul. We are still doing this now. After 6 years, we started during the pandemic, and here we are doing this again. So I want to say thank you to those of you. I suspect that sometimes you think it's a one-sided conversation, and you think that I motivate you all. But may I tell you how much you encourage me, how much you motivate me, and how much you guys inspire me. Not only that, but how much you all challenge me. Challenge me to do what? Challenge me to take these conversations to heart so that when life happens, when life does what it does, I show up as my best self. I'll tell you, I'll share a moment with you all that I had today, and I'll share a few moments that I've had today. But it's been an amazing day, and I hope that you guys have had an amazing day as well. Here we are. It is the first Tuesday in March. Where is the year going, you all? Where is the year going? It's going by so quickly, and it's been my goal to try to offer us some nuggets as the year is unfolding, as it does. My goal is to offer us some nuggets to see that when we leave this conversation, we can go out in life and do what we need to do. Uh, and when the hurdles and the pitfalls and the potholes happen, that we can still navigate and meander life and do what we need to do. So that's why we spend these moments together here in the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast. I am going to shout out the LTTC VIPs. Those are the Let's Talk to Cutler VIPs, the people that I see on my end who show up first in the chat. I know I get text messages, I get emails, I get calls from some of you saying, you didn't call my name and I thought I showed up. Well, I'm just talking about who I see from my end, and I see that some people are on, they just haven't made their way into the chat yet. But it's so good to see all of you all. It really is. It is always an encouragement to me, and I hope that you all are encouraged by seeing each other. So as you're in the chat, I often tell people, hey, when you come to the chat room, make sure that if you have beverages, make sure that you bring enough beverages and snacks for everybody in this virtual space. All right. Let me shout out the LTTC VIPs and then keep on going, because I have a whole lot to say in a little space, because you all know I only have 1,800 seconds to say what I have to say, because I'm trying to save something that's going to help save somebody's life, right? And I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Well, let me shout out the LTTC VIPs for just a moment. There's Annie Cutler. Annie Cutler says, let's ride. You know, for her, every time we come on, it's about an experience. It's about a ride that we all take together virtually. And thank you for reminding us of that. It's a ride that we take. We'll join in hand, and we'll walk into the space that's called Better, all right? And then let's see the next person that I see, Paula D, who says hello to everyone. You know, I just want to send a special shout out to Paula D. I just, and God rest the memory of her mother, who enjoyed watching this broadcast. And her mother lived to be over 100 years old, just an amazingly beautiful woman. And she would always tell, as Paula D has shared with me, she would always tell Paula, hey, it's time to, Let's Talk to Colors coming on TV. So in her mother's eyes, we were here on TV, and so we were sharing a TV moment. Always a very warm spot. May we all be encouraged by the memory of Miss Evelyn. And then let's see, who else do we see? Let's see, Sonia Bailey. Good evening. So good to see you, my friend. As most of you all know, I spent some time in the South and got to meet Sonia Bailey and her family there. So these amazing people. And the rest of you, I see you all. Thank you so very much. I see some of you, the rest of you over in the chat. Come on. I see you logged in, but you're not over into the chat. But come on over to the chat so I can just tell you all about my day. You know, I like to offer conversations from very transparent moments, and let me just and from the details of my day. And I said that one of the things that we try to do here in this space is to have conversations where we can talk about life, and we can talk about things, trying to make sure that we encourage and inspire and challenge each other to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations, because the worst situations sometimes present themselves. And if we have not practiced, if we have not rehearsed conversations about how to respond, I often say, and I always say, it's how you respond that matters. How you respond to life is really, really what matters. I had a situation today where I was just parking, you all, just simply parking. A transparent moment, as I often share. I was parking, running an errand and parking, and I actually straddled the parking spaces. No, I don't do that intentionally, but I straddled the parking spaces, and I got out and I was running to the store, and this young lady, uh, I'll say, she seemed flustered. I don't know what kind of day she was having. I can't judge why she was flustered. She may have been flustered by me parking in the parking space. It took part of what she was trying to get. You never know. And she was just a bit flustered. And she yelled at me. She said, "You took two parking spaces. You took two parking spaces." What was my response? My response was, "Oh, sweetie, I'm sorry. Let me just move." So I looked and saw that my car was straddling two parking spaces. I moved over, and the tone changed and the tenure changed. Why am I offering that? I'm offering that to say that as life is happening, don't forget that you have the ability to set the temperature in the room. Wherever you go, you have the ability to set the temperature and to control the temperature in the room. So while other people are being a thermometer, you can be the thermostat. Wow, what does that mean? It means while other people are just talking about how hot or how cold it is, you are the one who control the climate. Learn how to control the climate wherever you are. I was on a parking lot at a supermarket, but what did I realize? I realized that in that moment, I was not just a thermometer, but I was a thermostat. I was able to control the climate. I was able to bring down the tension in what could have been a very tense situation. Certainly, she sounded flustered. So what did I do? I moved. I got in the car and I moved over. And when she got out of the car, she said, "Thank you so much." And I said, "Oh, you're welcome." And I just kept right on going. So learn to master the art of responding. It is how you respond in life that matters. And maybe that was just an incidental thing and trivial to some of you, but it's all about what you do in life. It's about how you respond that really, really matters. Now, many of you see that there's a different background than you are accustomed to seeing. That's because I'm traveling and I am visiting friends and I'm spending quality time with dear friends of mine, as I have been doing for the past few days. And what a wonderful time I've been having. And I want to sort of share snippets from just today. I've been visiting for a couple of days, and so that's why you see a different background and setting here. But I want to share snippets from the day. I was as I was talking about with my friends about here our talk and getting ready, and they asked, "Well, what is your approach for what you say?" And I said, "My approach is usually looking at some of the things that I've done during the day and to see how I can transfer those into a lesson, how I can transfer those into a meaningful dialogue, a meaningful conversation, because I think our conversations comes from places of real situations having taken place." So I wanted to just share the day. But as I share the day, or certainly snippets of the day, I want to show you how you can find magic in what seems to be mundane. The fabric of friendship, the fabric of friendship presents all kinds of moments. The fabric of friendships, it can present challenging moments. It can present sad moments. It can present high moments. It can present low moments. And it can present moments that seem so mediocre and mundane. But may I suggest to you that when there is true friendship, there is magic in what seems mundane to other people. And I want to take you all on that journey. I only have 1,800 seconds to do this, y'all. So let's thank you. And so let's just ride this train together. Because I just want to know if you've ever had one of those days, it just looked ordinary, just looked like an ordinary day, but somehow it ended up feeling special. It ended up feeling sacred. And it may be that, like me, you met friends that you hadn't seen in a while. And nothing necessarily extravagant happened. Hang on, because I'm really talking about finding the magic in what seems so mundane. And so you meet friends that you haven't, yes, that you haven't seen for a while. There are no major events, no big celebrations, no milestones, but you just decide to be intentional. There's a word. You're intentional about spending time. And by the end of your visit with your friends, you realize that something powerful has happened. I've been visiting friends since Friday. And in all of these moments, you all, I've realized that something powerful has happened in my spending time and connecting. What has happened, Cutler? Ordinary moments. The ordinary moments were doing something extraordinary in my heart and something extraordinary in my soul. Why would you say that? I say that because there was nothing extravagant that was planned. Some of my days include things like, we did a few self-care things. Went to dinner, ran some errands. In fact, one day, even today, one of my friends had to deal with the crises, and at the end of many of these days, we did just this heartfelt reflection. And what looked simple to some really then becomes profound. I'm talking about finding the magic in what seems so mundane. So what I wanted to talk about this evening, this is really inspiration. This is not even a challenge. I hope you find this inspirational and motivational. Why are you offering this, Cutler? I'm offering this because I want you all to examine your days. I want you to look at your days and realize that your days are filled with moments of magic. I had a chance to offer a message and present a message this past Sunday. And in part of the message, I talked about how we get up in the mornings, we prepare ourselves, we brush our teeth, we look in the mirror, and we go on about our day. And we don't take the time to realize that each moment you look in the mirror, you're looking, there's a reflection of a miracle that's looking back. I want to say the same thing about your days. As you're going about your days, what seems mundane to some, and while it may not seem miraculous, but it's magical. Those are those moments. And I just want you all to know that the most meaningful, and I'm encouraging you all to look for these moments as the days unfold. The most meaningful parts of your relationships with your friends are not found in the highlights and the big moments of life. They're not. Honestly, sometimes they're tucked and almost seem hidden inside just those routine moments that we usually ignore. And I've been so intentional and deliberate about paying attention to the moments today because I'm rounding up my visit with my friends here. And I was just paying attention to the details of the day, got a chance to reflect. And I thought, wow. And I just gave thanks for all of these moments because while they seem mundane to some, they were magical to me. Moments of self-help throughout the day. Whether you go to the barbershop with your friends, whether you go to get pedicures with your friends, whether you go wherever you go, even moments of self-care can seem trivial, but there's something about what I call the power of presence. Because in moments like that, you're just sitting there. And perhaps you're sitting side by side and you're not rushing and you're not on stage and you're not performing and you're not trying to impress anybody. You're just existing in the same space. I want you all to think about your days. Think about your days and the times that you spend with your friends and you're just existing in the same space. Presence is powerful. Presence is powerful. What has happened is that modern life has trained us to believe that connection requires so many things, that to really connect requires events and travel and big plans and elaborate gatherings. But that's not true. The truth of the matter, and I'm talking about friendship here, the fabric of friendship, and friendship grows strongest in unstructured times. When there is no structure, there's just history, there's just presence that you share. It's when two people are not necessarily doing anything, two or three people not necessarily doing anything significant, but they're sharing space in the same environment in the same moment. Because what does that do? Nobody has to raise their defense mechanism. Nobody has to raise their guards. Because what happens whenever you're in a space that's like that, it's all about proximity, the power of proximity, the power of presence. So I wanted to share that with you all so that as you're going through the day, as you're going through your day, look for those moments where you realize that it's just all about presence. As you're examining your friendships, look at those times and you say, oh, it's just about presence. Seems mundane to some, but there's magic in that moment. It's something miraculous that warms your heart and warms your soul in that moment. And this is just me reflecting on my day. I hope that you're able to look at some part of your day and say, Cutler, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that there are magical moments in the day. I told you all that another thing that even over the past few days that my friends and I have done, we've gone out to break bread. We stayed in to break bread. Uh, and this is something that we see in all cultures, across every culture. Meals and dining together tend to have a special meaning. I personally don't like dining with strangers. So, one of my brothers enjoys these hibachi bars, these hibachi style eating. I don't, because I don't necessarily like dining with strangers, but I like spending time. So if I'm dining, I like spending time with the people who matter the most. And so for me, having meals, they really do carry meaning. People disagree about religion, they disagree about politics, they disagree about philosophy, but it seems that everybody understands this universal language of food. They understand this universal moment of spending time. There's something about sitting at a table together that transforms conversation. When I was growing up, we always had to have all of our meals at the table. You didn't take your meal and go into the living room. You didn't take your meal and go to your bedroom. You didn't take your meal and go anywhere else. But it was something about at the table. And for me, that is still true. And let me know in the comments if these things ring true for you all. Let me know if sharing space, if you feel that that's powerful, if you feel that that's significant. Let me know if sharing a meal is special. Sharing a meal in the same space is special for you all. It really is special for me because each time, and honestly, each time I've sat at the table with my friends, particularly we had dinner earlier today, and what I realized is that when we sat at the table, we were able to do what? Slow down. See, I'm talking about finding the magic in what seems mundane to some people. We were able to sit down and slow down. We were able to tuck our phones aside, and we were able to let conversation and stories begin to surface. We were able to let memories be shared. And what begins as catching up became something deeper for us. And it was a magical moment for me because that meal represented a shift in it was not about doing anything, but it was about being. A lot of times during the day, throughout the day, we're busy doing stuff and performing and executing and doing this. But when I sat to the table with my friends today, it wasn't about doing anything. It was about being friends, being in the same space, being in the same community, being in the same village, being a part of each other's heart and each other's lives. I'm trying to encourage you and remind you to make the moments magical and look at them. So for me, it wasn't just physical, but it was emotional. And sometimes, you all, may I suggest that the most healing things that you can do is sit across from someone during the day and say to them, tell me been going on in your life. Open your heart, open your soul to those moments where barriers are broken just by dining and spending time together. It might look boring to other people. It might sound boring, but may I suggest to you all that what looks boring to some people can look beautiful to others. Another part of my day was just I had a few errands to run. Just running errands. And that may have seemed so boring to some people. But one of the most underrated expressions of friendship is something that's called intimacy. And intimacy just means spending close time together. Think about it. For me, running errands meant that I was spending time and running those errands with people who had crossed the threshold of my life, or people who allowed me to cross the threshold of their lives. And so they don't have to be a part of my celebration. They can just be a part of my routine, and that makes a world of difference. Why would I say that? Because anybody can show up for your celebration. Anybody can show up for the big highlights. Why? Because you invite them. But for people, who just spend time riding to the store, running your errands with you, who sit with you in traffic while you're trying to navigate through rainy weather and you're driving. These people see an unfiltered version of your life. And that is where true friendship lives. True friendship lives in that unfiltered version of your life. Because the real friends don't want to see the filtered version that people place on social media. Anybody can take pictures and go through filters and filter the things and only show the highlights of their lives on social media. But those are true friends who get to see the unfiltered version of your life. And that's where true friendship lives. Real friends are not only present in your vacations, and they can be, and that's wonderful. They're not just only present in your parties and in the big moments, but they're present even in the interruptions of your life. They are present in what I call those quiet places where belonging happens. This is all about just what can seem mundane. Have you all ever had days like that just seem mundane? So talk to me. Days that seem mundane, that seem boring, that seem traditional, that seems routine, that seem ritual, that just seem like it's just an ordinary day. But you got to the end of the day and you said there was something special about what happened today. There was something magical about what I experienced. There was something magical about spending time with these people and in this space. There was something powerful. There was something life altering. Have you all ever had those days? I hope that you can take this moment of this conversation and share this with other people. One of the greatest gifts that we can give another person is our time. It is our time. We by saying to them, I see you. So or you can bear witness to their day. That's a gift. Sometimes it just means that you let people know that I see you, I'm giving witness to your day, so you're bearing witness. That is a powerful gift that you can give other people. By saying to somebody, hey, I see you. I see what you're going through. You're not in this alone. Because real friendship doesn't require expertise. You don't know how to master this. You don't have to know how to master this. It just requires availability. So I'm talking about the power of friendship, the fabric of friendship, and I'm talking about how to see what could be mundane is really magical. Many times I know friends struggle and friends go through things, and sometimes we don't know what to say. A lot of times and I hope this will help somebody. A lot of times when you see people going through things, you just simply say, hey, I'm here for you. I don't know what to say, but I'm here. And why would I suggest that? Because one of my friends had to handle a crisis situation today. I couldn't get in and fix it. I couldn't get in and make it go away, but I had to be compassionate. I had to understand. I had to say, hey, what can I do? I'm here. Cutler, why are you sharing all this? I'm sharing all this because I just realized that so often we take life for granted. We take the events in life for granted and we let them go by and we don't seize the beauty of the moment. We really don't. I just want you to realize that at the end of the day, something beautiful has happened in your life. Yeah, there may have been some things that you didn't want to happen, some things that you had hoped would not have happened. But at the end of the day, I want you to have a moment of reflection and realize that there is something beautiful that happened to me today. There's something magical that happened to me today. There's something miraculous that happened to me today. There's something noteworthy that happened to me today. Something that will catapult me into my tomorrow. Something that will fortify me. Something that will excite and incite me. Thank you, McDinah says, every day is a beautiful day. And it is my hope, McDinah, it is my hope that we can see that. Yes, there may be potholes and pitfalls and hurdles and curves and all of that kind of stuff in every day. But in the poem, Desiderata, The poet writes, with all of its sham and drudgery, the world is still such a beautiful place. And for me, with all of its sham and drudgery, the world is a beautiful place. And I am capitalizing on the opportunity to be here. But I'm capitalizing on the opportunity that I'm capitalizing on the fact that I don't have to experience it all by myself. I have people to help make the mundane magical and to make moments matter. And that's what I'm sharing with you all. That's what I'm sharing with us. So for me, this is just my reflection. And I want you all to do something similar to this at the end of the day. What looked like a simple day was actually a journey, a full journey of friendship. As this month unfolds, and let me just say Happy Women's History Month, as the month unfolds and celebrate the women who do and continue to do incredible things, have done, are doing, and continue to do incredible things. Happy Women's History Month. But as you're going through this day, here's the point that I want to make. When you get to the end of the day, I want you to remember that what looked like a simple day, and this is my reflection, it was a day full. It was a full journey of friendship. Why would you say that, Cutler? Because it included laughter. It included doing routine things. It included some awkward moments. It included a crisis. It included the opportunity to reflect. And that's exactly what real relationships and real friendship look like. So as you are, I invite us to do this, as you are doing an inventory of your circle and your village and the people in your life, learn to do that ever so often. Learn to do that ever so often. Because there should be people in your life, and you should be a part of other people's lives where you can look at the time and the moments that you spend and you say, this is what real friendship looks like. What is it? What do you mean, Cutler? My day had laughter. It had some of the routine things we did. There were awkward moments. There was a crisis, and there was reflection about how the day looked and how time spent together looked. That's what a real friendship looks like. It is not perfectly polished. It is not perfect, but it's real. So here is a challenge. As the week is unfolding, as the days are unfolding, reach out to friends, people that you call your friends that you haven't seen in a while. You don't need a big event, but invite them to do something simple. Maybe let's run errands together. Let's go grab dinner. Let's sit down and talk. Because may I suggest to you, my friends, that the magic that you are looking for in life is probably already hiding inside everyday moments that you are living. Can I say that again? The magic that some of us are looking for in life is probably already hiding inside the everyday moments that you are living. That's why I enjoy sharing this platform with you all, because there's so much magic in these moments. And I want you to take these moments and parlay them into your everyday experiences and expressions as you're dealing with other people, as you're interacting with people, the people who matter the most. I want you to take these moments and examine them, and don't let them be fleeting moments when you don't seize the magic and the beauty in them. What is this broadcast about? This particular one is about gratitude. When you can find the magic in these moments that seem mundane to others, you learn to give thanks. You're right, Linda. They are hiding. The magic is hiding. What an oxymoron, in plain sight. Reach out to people over the next few days. Just reach out to people who matter. Don't have any expectations of how they are going to respond, because sometimes having expectations, you set yourself up, but don't have any expectations of how they're going to respond. Say, hey, let's go run some errands. Let's grab dinner. Let's sit and talk. I'm telling you, I got to get out of here, you all. But the magic you are looking for in life is so often hidden inside the everyday moments that you are living. And when you share those moments with people who matter, the mundane not only becomes magical, but the mundane becomes magnificent. Let's keep doing what we are doing. Let's keep building community, maintaining connectivity. Be sure you keep your head up. Be sure you keep your hopes up, and know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Thank you all so much. And by the next time we talk, make sure that you tell somebody, hey, come on, and let's talk. The color, the man is just trying to help save somebody's life. Thank you all. Good night. I will see you next week, same time. Good night, all.